Quantum Beginnings, a near-future cyberpunk thriller. Entangled Fates, Book 1. Written by Kuster. Narrated by Melissa Schwairy. Prologue. Alex jerked awake and blindly reached for his phone. He wasn't sure what time it was, but it was far too early for his tastes. He grumbled as his hands found the small rectangle of glass and plastic that was chirping away. As soon as his skin brushed the metal that rimmed the device, it scanned his heart's electrocardiogram pattern. Confirming its owner and the fact he'd moved it toward his face, the device unlocked and accepted the call. "But, yeah?" Alex managed to mumble as he pulled the phone to his head. He had to brush his fingers through his mop of brown hair to get it out of his ear. An unfamiliar voice came over the line and asked, "Is this Mr. Alexander Sage?" "Uh-huh," Alex said, his heart deflating. He'd been hoping it was someone else, and unknown voices calling at odd hours were rarely a good thing in his life. The man's voice turned chipper. "Fantastic. I've been trying to reach you for some time. I'd like to talk to you about graduate study opportunities with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Alex cut the man off. "Look, I'm not even out of my undergrad. I've checked your costs, and there's no way I could swing it." Not missing a beat, the caller began. "We have an excellent financial aid program." Alex hung up the phone. He had hoped he was done with college recruiters. However, as soon as he'd gotten close enough to consider what came next, they'd come crawling out of the woodwork again. The job market was terrible, and he had the grades, so grad school was tempting. Still, Alex had managed not to rack up student loans so far. But his savings and scholarships that covered his dorm and classes would be tapped out after next semester. He'd be stuck taking out loans if he continued. He also wasn't certain a master's degree would be all that useful for an IT student. His mother and father had drummed financial responsibility into his head since he was a child, and his stressed-out friends trying to manage repayment had also warned him away from that approach. Of course, he wouldn't admit his parents were right. Their concerted harping on it had been annoying growing up, and it was still irritating. Either way, he wanted to be done with it all. Moving home each summer was painful at this point, but he didn't have the cash to move out until he landed a job. He rubbed at his eyes that felt scratchy from lack of sleep. He felt like little gnomes had snuck into his room with the express.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?